What's up, swing trader? Snacks here. We're going to jump in and do our watch list for Monday, October 13th. And this is a big one. I've got some great names and we've got some pretty heightened volatility in the market. So this is a very important watch list, but there's something I want to address beforehand. And look, this is going to ruffle some feathers. People are going to not like what I have to say. But it's become very clear to me over the weekend that a lot of people do need to hear this, and I've earned the right to say it. I've been on both sides. I had poor risk management in the past, and I lost money, meaningful money. My hopes and dreams at the time, confidence, patience, all of it. And I blamed manipulation. I blamed everyone but myself, not realizing yet, what the real issue was. And I'm seeing a lot of that over the weekend. And the issue that I'm having is that most of you are not even aware of what the real manipulation is or the source of it, and it's leverage. They manipulated your mind into thinking you get a shortcut or a free pass, a break. There are no fucking breaks. This game was not made for you, for us, right? You're putting your capital at risk against the most sophisticated algorithms on this planet, the most ruthless, heartless, soulless money managers on this planet. All the money in the world, that's who you're stepping into the arena with. And they created leverage as a tool to take your money, okay? It's because they understand your psychology, the way you think, and they know how to trigger you emotionally. What's more emotional than money, than your hopes and dreams? And they're preying on this, okay? That is what leverage does. It makes you make emotional decisions, and you're massively underestimating their desire to take every dime you expose. It's literally their job, and they spend billions to do it. This is not a fair game. It's not meant to be. And if you put your neck out there exposed, they're gonna take a bite, okay? It's just, that's how it works. Look, I could rant on this for hours. And I hate to see the pain over the weekend that so many people are experiencing. I have been there, so I feel for you. But a lot of you are misinterpreting where the real manipulation lies, and it is in leverage, okay? That is not a tool for you. If you do not have sufficient data that you have an edge over time that outperforms the market, you have zero business applying leverage. That period. Do not use leverage. Why are you... You're going to lose your money faster if you don't have an edge that proves that you can outperform the market. Why the hell are you using leverage? Like, say it out loud. I don't make money in the market, so let me apply money that isn't mine to mine. Therefore, what happens? It expedites your loss of your money. Okay, that is the manipulation, right? They're preying on your psychology, on your hopes and your dreams and your emotions. Okay, you need to check yourself, and you need to build an edge first. Okay, and you need to learn proper risk management. Okay, 20x leverage at all-time highs. Come on, what do you think is going to happen? This is not a free pass. Okay, that is the manipulation, and you don't need it. I'm up over 194% on Friday. I'm going to open today back over 200%, triple my account. Okay, and I never expose more than 60% of my market capital at any time, and I'm still going to triple my account. All right, if you want to learn my risk management system and my edge that has me tripling my account this year, and if we get a push out of this, we're going to get close to 300% this year, right? Okay, because I have a repeatable, proven edge that looks for these sort of things. If you just got shaken out on a 2% move off of all-time highs, like, dude, what? I can't help you, okay, until you help yourself. And stop exposing yourself in that way. Stop over leveraging. Stop going all in at all-time highs. Maybe learn a continuation pattern or two that looks for these things, for the pullbacks. If you go, and please, go look at any of my watch list videos for the last 2 weeks, okay? And there's one, every day to day, the watch list videos are different, like the names that we're looking at. But there's one thing that I said repeatedly since the Friday before the government, 2 weeks ago, before the government shutdown. I've been saying, control yourself and do not overexpose. We are going into a headline-sensitive environment and Trump tweet. I literally said it every day for 2 weeks. And what happened? Okay, this was predictable. I was waiting for this, okay? And now I'm sitting at 194% profit with 85% cash. Gonna jump over 200 by the time markets open because of the things that I did hold that I was well into profits for, right? That I'm building positions into, frankly. And then, if we get back onto trend here, I'm going to fire off my continuation setups and get paid, okay? Because I know how to manage risk, and that is first, okay? And then I know that I have an edge that looks for these sort of things as opportunities. I don't cry and call manipulation because I didn't manage my money properly and because I keep buying breakouts. Like, dude, you got to roll it back, okay? Stop letting the market take all of your money. Get a coach. I don't care who it is. Do some vetting, right? But find somebody that can teach you an edge, but more importantly, risk management, okay? That is king. You have to learn to properly manage your risk because this is going to happen again. It's always happened. They're going to shake you out. If they can't shake you out, then they'll wear you out. Whatever that old saying is, okay? Like, yes, they're looking to manipulate you, to manipulate the markets and shake you out of your positions, okay? But what does that do? In the leaders, if you would stop focusing on these freaking community and meme coins, like, give me a break on that. I don't even want to get into that. But trade the freaking leaders where, what do we see there in these patterns? Every time these sort of things happen, a macro event puts them on sale, Wall Street positions into them and push them back onto trend, and they go higher because that's how growing companies and market structure works, okay? Stop overthinking this and trying to outsmart all of the money in the world, okay? And applying obscene leverage, and you don't even have an edge. Like, what? Come on, you got to knock that off, okay? And I did it. I did do that early in my career, and it wiped me out. And took years for me to put meaningful capital back in, to get the confidence to take a trade again, right? It'll fuck with your head, okay? That's what they want. That's literally, dude, they have psychiatrists on staff, not only for their traders when they need it, but it's literally to have conversations about the psychology of retail and how they can expose that in their algorithms and what levels they can breach. Like, dude, this game is not for us, okay? Stop making it a casino. Who wins in a casino? At the end, the house, okay? Stop taking this idea of leverage and a quick fix or a shortened path to success and thinking it's some sort of edge. Like, dude, I'm going to stop, okay? Because, again, I could go forever on this. But, look, I don't like to see people get hurt, okay? Because I have felt it. I've been married 16 years now. And, like, I had to, like, lie to my wife back in the day. Not lie, but, like, avoid. Like, all of a sudden, I would just stop talking about the market, And it's just like, then it kind of came, it's like, how come you don't trade anymore? It's like, because I fucking got taken out, or I'm holding these bags and I don't have any capital because I don't want to sell these things. Like, dude, it's a mess, all right? Stop falling for it, guys. Look, learn trend and continuation patterns because it is market structure and how it works. And guess what? Instead of getting manipulated by Wall Street, you literally put them at your back because there's one thing Wall Street must do, and that is position into leaders. They have to, okay? It's how it works. I'm going to stop there, but I'm adamant about this. If you're struggling, frankly, if you're struggling this year, you need to change something because this has been a very opportunistic rally from the April lows, okay? And if you're struggling and if you got taken out yesterday, please don't do the same thing, okay? Try something new. Come work with me at Bootcamp. I literally lean over your shoulder for 60 days. You submit your risk profile to me day 2, okay? I work with you directly, one-on-one, video back and forth, hours of going through my 6 models, 5 of which are continuation patterns that hit at over 70% at a minimum 2R, like money printing, okay? But I teach you how to manage your risk so that the edge can play out over time and you can actually compound your gains and never be so exposed to where, what did we go down? A few percent on Friday? 2.7%. Guys, this should not have taken you out. Like, give me a break, okay? Get your shit together and learn to manage risk, all right? I had someone treat me like this a few years ago, right? I finally paid way more than I'm asking for a mentor, and he forced me to think this way. He was real with me, okay? He showed me that I am the problem. I'm letting the markets control my risk. Well, now I control my risk, me, okay? And so let's jump in and let me show you the opportunity that we now have after this beautiful dip back into clear support, in the markets, and we will now look for positioning and get a continuation one way or the other. We won't be predictive, but we are going to build 2 scenarios of what could happen from here, and we're going to wait for the confirmation of one or the other. Okay? It's nothing different, and we've been waiting for this pullback. Sure, it was sharper, faster, and deeper than I couldn't have predicted all of that in one day. I mean, look at this outflow, right? Nasty, very, very nasty. Okay? But we were waiting for a pullback for the last couple of weeks, okay? And we were positioning very lightly. Still taking winners, okay? Still growing our accounts. But up here in this chop, we weren't over positioning. Headline sensitive environment, Trump tweet. What happened? Like, this was predictable, okay? The guy is, look, I don't give a shit about politics, okay? I care about process and making money. Like, that's what I'm here to do. I don't give a crap about how you feel about one side or the other. I think it's all, frankly, it's all a mess, okay? But anyways, like this guy is the most, like him or hate him, I don't give a shit again. He's the most influential social president we've ever had. Like if he goes on his phone and says something, it moves markets, okay? And then we go into a government shutdown and you think he wasn't gonna say something? No, I didn't know it was gonna be about tariffs, but I knew, for 2 weeks, I said, headline sensitive environment, Trump tweet. Those 2 things together in every single one of the videos. Of course he was going to say something that shook the markets up, add an extended rally into all-time highs when, there's $7 trillion in assets on the sideline that needs to be deployed, right, into what's very likely going to be a year-end rally. Like, guys, this was predictable. Market breadth, okay? I teach you market breadth, okay? It's your best shot at a crystal ball in the market, and you can read these things before they come. There's many ways I'd love to teach you, but anyways, let's jump into our watch list here. And guys, I need to show you the 2 scenarios that I see playing out. All right, so we get a big, let's just look structurally at what we have. Nothing has changed structurally. Yes, it was nasty. Yes, it demands respect because of the outflow, the volume on the pullback. But frankly, all it is a pullback. We pull back into the 9 EMA on the weekly, the 50 SMA on the daily. Like, we haven't even made a lower high yet. Like, to say this is the bubble pop, like you don't have anything confirming that, okay? Stop trying to predict, wait for the scenarios to play out. What I will say, if there is a scenario to play out, let's look at something similar. So look back here at December 18th, right? And pretty similar on what happened. Hard sell right at all-time highs, straight into the 50 on volume, okay? And then what happened? We got a bit of a reflex bounce, continued lower. So that's scenario number 1, all right? And here is our level for that. This is the line in the sand right here. 667, 668 area, line in the sand. All right, we get back above this, bull, okay? Probably gonna push in the year end, right? And if we make a lower high below it, then it's going to look very similar to what we had back here. And the other thing I need you to understand is that we don't need to catch, if this is going to turn into a sustained bear market or a rollover in the market, you don't need to catch that day 1, hour 1. Like, look, this happened for weeks and then for months, okay? And there was a lot of different things that happened in between that you need to be ready for and prepare for, guys, okay? There were a lot of tells that came after this initial move, okay? But again, you don't need to get all of this right now. The volatility is currently heightened. You should probably protect yourself, okay? You should probably be cautious. If you're not like an astute trader at the moment, like maybe sit this out. Damn sure wait for confirmation one way or the other. And confirmation, guys, for me is very, very simple. All right, line in the sand. If we get back above this level here, I think we're like already almost there in pre-market because he walked back all the tweets. Like, really, you thought that they were going to blow up the whole market on a freaking tweet, right? Like, yeah, okay, it's manipulative, whatever you want to call it, right? But like, guys, I doubt we roll into a recession off of a tweet about China tariffs that we've already been talking about for 6 months. Like, relax on that whole idea, right? You still have Q2 earnings growth. Over 80% of companies reported double-digit earnings growth, right? Like, okay, you have AI infrastructure built out. You have massive crypto adoption, like, and I don't trade the frickin' alts, guys. I own Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Link, okay? And I was up on this pullback over 50% on all of them still, right? Like, now I'm back up over 70 plus, right? Like, sorry, I know this is a bit of a ranty one. My emotions are heightened as well, but I'm just a little bit frustrated with some of the things that I see out there. It's validating to my process, just that I was able to play this correctly, right? To have my accounts at all-time highs, 85% cash, ready to play the confirmation of the next move. Like, I am stoked. I'm proud of myself. Okay. But I've also been on the other end of this where I got bent over. All right. I don't want to see that for you guys. Okay. Anyways, look, line in the sand. All right. If we breach this, then the bears failed to break it down. Right. And they're going to have to clear any new money shorts that came in on Friday. Like, this is their line in the sand. Okay. If we get over this level here at 667, then I'm going to be taking triple R setups. Okay. The other scenario that I see would be, we might have a chance at two-sided trading here. Okay. We could get a sell-off. I think we're going to, obviously we're already getting a balance, like unless something happens between now and the open, like we're going to open right about here. Okay. So do we bust through it? Okay. Something of that sort. Do we fake out and then roll, or do we make a lower high below it and start to roll down? Okay, I'm either buying this or selling this. All right, those are my two scenarios. And stick with me, come back, watch the videos throughout the week to see where we are on that and how I feel about what is coming. I do have some shorts ready to fire if we need it. But look, frankly, with the current pre-market look and the fact that they walked back the reason for the sell-off, I'm favoring upside price action currently. Okay, but I'm not going to jump into anything. I want my confirmation. I want to get back above the short-term moving average, because my bread and butter triple R is 3-day to 3-month thesis trading, right? And I like to have the markets above resistance. So anyways, I'll wait for that, and our entire focus list will fire off very likely. I don't really want to go into the rest of the breadth because the charts are all broken off of Fridays. Let's see how we open and close today. It will be quite telling. But here are some setups that I like. Okay, if you look at the sectors that were strong on Friday, one of them, besides the typical risk off sectors, utilities, stuff like that, utilities, rates, bonds, all that stuff did well. Also rare earths. Okay, look, WPM, if you guys don't know, my bread and butter setup is a strong company in a trend backed by growing fundamentals, and we wait for them to retrace, react at or around our level, and remount the short term, and we set a 2R with a stop at or around recent swing low, and this hits in a trending market over 80%. Right, this fires off. Okay, and I use options for leverage, which is why I don't have to expose much of my money at any given time and still triple my account. And I've got Q4, which is very strong, right? So anyways, small moves in a stock by strategically using options as my leverage. I'm allowed to use leverage because I have data that shows that I have an edge that I execute, okay, consistently without deviating from. But anyways, look, guys, like a 5-10% move, and the underlying, I get 60 to 200% moves out of those contracts, right? But also your risk is also heightened as well. But guys, this stuff really crushes. You can see how strong it is, right? You get a strong company in a trend, retracement, reaction around a level, remount, boom, 2-to-1, 2-to-1. And it's happening here, it happened there, and it could be happening again. I will take this guy back over the 9, possibly. I need to see the rest of the market. TLN is another one I've not gotten into. Somebody in Bootcamp brought this to my attention. And guys, we're looking for a retracement, reaction at around the level, remount. This jumped up, this gapped up. You wouldn't have gotten that, of course. But here's a better example here, right? Retracement, reaction at around the level, remount of the short term is trigger for triple R, set a 2-to-1, and let her roll. Okay, what else do we have? ELF has a decent look to it as we're pulling back, retesting this 50. So the last time this happened, retracement, reaction at around our level, boom, right there, 2-to-1 on that, already hit, and it could be setting up here again, and we've sort of got this flat top here that we could break out. Could also be a double top, we'll just have to wait and see, but a trigger on triple R, this thing does look attractive to me. Nope, sorry. We'll do that one next. STX is another one that looks good to me. This hasn't really given a triple R trigger yet. I guess you had a little one right here. These two could have been considered. I probably wouldn't have gotten into this one. Oh yeah, that was earnings anyways. Look, first real possibility of a triple R setting up on an absolute ripper. Okay, clearly a leader. We're going to want to take this CRDO. This is a frequent trader. All right, so you get a retracement, reaction at around our level, remount of the short term is our trigger for triple R, and we may be getting it here. I had this range that I wanted to clear for a trigger on it the last time, but I think you could maybe even move this down just a little bit if we have a strong or stable market environment. I think clearing that range, really just back over the 9, guys, at the end of the day. But you could clear Thursday, Friday's range. Would be a little bit safer of an entry, but pretty much the same level. Palantir is another one that we're looking at. So guys, you get a retracement, reaction at around the level, remount, and there's your trigger, and we're right under highs. Guys, if this squeezes through highs, like, It's probably going to squeeze again. It's what this thing has done since inception, basically, right? So, I mean, look at this, okay? This is why you trade the leaders, okay? Because when they go on sale, it's a positioning opportunity into the leaders, which is what Wall Street buys, okay? It's what they position into. And they don't do it all in one, right? They have to do this over weeks, months, years. They position into the leaders, and that's why you see sustained moves in these leaders, okay? Dash is another frequent trader that could be setting up for us again here. Tried to bust out to all-time highs. It is trying to, right? You can see all the times we've taken this guy. It is trying to do so, but look, if we get some strength and back over the 9, I like this for a bust to all-time highs and a hot boy. Net is same look here, another frequent trader. This was more occasional, but I did take it recently. Anyways, clearing that level, guys, you got to take this. This is testing all-time highs on a big rounding base up towards it, cup and handling at highs. Guys, I mean, you got to take that trade. Your risk reward is favorable there. Okay, and then we've got RMBS. If we get some semis rolling again today, I do like this guy. Finally pulling back. I did just play it out of the box breakout, another one of my continuation patterns, and we're getting our first pullback out of a box breakout, which is something on leaders that more often than not I will play. I'll give it a shot. It hits more often than not. I mean, undoubtedly. Okay, so I will very likely give this a trade. The only thing I don't like is earnings, so that will be a factor depending on when it does trigger. Earnings will be a factor. I never hold my short-term trades into earnings, period. It doesn't happen. All right, and that's it. Well, I mean, CLS has a look to it if it can get going and clear this range. It tried to do so on Friday before we got the tweet and roll. All right, but if we get up through that level, then it's interesting. All right, it could move. And look, guys, sorry to anyone who got hurt on Friday. Hope I don't rub you wrong, but you know, I'm passionate about this stuff. And look, it's if you got wiped on Friday, it is your own fault. Okay, if it happened over leveraging and poor risk management, that's on you. Like, period. Okay. And if you didn't know how to identify what was leading to it, you know, have a clue that maybe this could happen, then learn market breadth. All right, come join me in Bootcamp. I'd love to have you. But that's it for today. We're going to have a pretty exciting, active week. So there's a lot to be watching. I'll be updating breadth daily. Guys in Bootcamp, we're going to be talking through this live. So I'll see you there. But look, guys, stay safe, manage your risk. Let's go make some money. All right, see you soon.